At St Peter's Church in Shaftesbury, the lights will go out on the 28th of March, but the church is hoping the evening will spark ideas, conversation and action. The Earth Hour event is part of St Peter's push to become an eco-church, despite the limits that come with caring for an ancient and listed building. There'll be drinks, films, candles and live music. Organiser Liz Hamilton says the aim is to make a joyful evening, as well as a thoughtful one.
There's a charity called Arosha, which is a Christian charity which works towards protecting and restoring the environment amongst Christians and churches. So we are embarking on that.
You've got a slightly greater challenge because it really helps if you've got a churchyard, because you can do a lot of stuff with a churchyard and you haven't got one.
Well, we have got a part of a churchyard, a can churchyard, and that is something we're looking at.
Oh, you can use that as well then? You can offset it if you like.
Well, I think it is our churchyard. It belongs to St Peter's as well as other places, I think. And we're looking at, for example, there is a group in Shaftesbury that wants to make us into an orchard town, and we're looking at the possibility of planting some fruit trees in Can churchyard. But yes, it is more difficult. And another thing that's difficult is, of course, these very ancient buildings that are listed, there is only so much you can do. I mean, you can't do things like insulate the roof or put up double glazing or anything. So you have to recognise, you can only do so much. But you can look at your lighting and your heating and how we do things like we try and encourage people to bring their own cup to church now rather than just recycling lots of cardboard cups. And we're doing lots of small things, but I think small things, when you put them all together, can actually make a big change. So we are thinking about those things all the time. And Earth Hour, we're trying to look outside of our church as well and at the wider world. And Earth Hour is allowing us to do that.
So do you have a committee or a group of people who look at what you're doing, everything you buy, how you use those products to see whether you're being as green as you could be?
Yes, we do have a little eco group. That's myself and Jess Sims and Emma Smith. And we look at those things. For example, we only use fair trade products now and other environmentally friendly products rather than just buying the cheapest thing off the supermarket shelves. So yes, we are doing that.
The event itself follows a wider Earth Hour idea, a symbolic switch-off that began in Australia and spread around the world.
In 2007, they decided to have this time of turning all the lights off on famous buildings in Australia, like the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Sydney Opera House, as a way of demonstrating people's feelings about the need to do something about climate change and to bring it to the attention of governments that they need to do more to prevent climate change happening. And it sort of caught on, and there have now been something like 190 countries who have joined in with Earth Hour, and all sorts of very famous buildings now do this of turning their lights off on the last Saturday of March. So, the London Eye and Big Ben and buildings like that would have their lights turned off, and the Empire State Building and the Statue of Christ in Rio and pyramids at Gaza, all sorts of places. They turn their lights off for that hour to show their sort of solidarity for the need to work to reduce our carbon footprint.
And in St Peter's, you'll be doing the same.
Yes, we're going to have an hour when people come in and have drinks and watch a film which tells them a lot about climate change and Earth Hour. And after that hour, everyone sit down. We'll all turn all the lights off. We have lots of candles around the church, and we're going to have a candlelit concert. So the idea of Earth Hour is that you celebrate rather than bemoan what's going on, and the World Wildlife Fund is very keen that we should see it as an opportunity to look at what we can all do to make things better. So we want it to be a joyful occasion rather than a sad occasion. So hopefully people will really enjoy it. The music's all very different. We have got Karen Wimhurst. She's a local environmentalist as well as a musician and composer. She's playing. Emily Burridge is playing with her, who's a very well-known cellist. David Grierson, who I think lots of people around here know, he plays the organ in our church and runs choirs and orchestras. He's going to play piano for us. And then the final bit is going to be Richard Clarke and Bob Foster playing some trad jazz and a bit more sort of upbeat songs for the last half hour.
Bob Foster, we've heard on Alfred many times performing. Is it going to be difficult for you performing without light?
Well, we have thought about it, and we are committed to the principles of Earth Hour, which are we are going to be managing under candlelight. So the musicians have been chosen and guided towards performing in a way that means that they don't need to have light. And Richard and I will be playing improvisations that we play many, many times. So this will simply be a delivery of those tunes, but unique because it has our improvisations. And Karen and Emily have similarly said they will be improvising, so they don't need to see sheet music. And then David has picked 3 pieces, and he says, I'm going to be able to do it. So that's the challenge, if you like, and that hopefully we will live up to that. But yes, it's in the spirit of the event that we will try and play without artificial light.
So apart from David Grierson, we don't know what anybody else is doing because it's going to be improvised on the night.
Well, I mean, I can give you some names of the tunes that we've got. Ain't Misbehaving and Ain't She Sweet, that sort of trad jazz.
Oh, it's well-known
music.
pieces, but you don't need, them off,
we know them,
off by heart.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And Emily and Karen have, I think, pieces that they have improvised themselves. They're sort of structures that they've played before, and then they'll just play something, around that structure. The whole hour we will be playing music, and then Liz is arranging these films and things that will be beforehand just to explain some of the theory and also opportunity to chat afterwards, I think. So, the concert itself is the hour.
We have collected together some different films, mainly from YouTube. There's a film that David Attenborough made. It's only a few minutes, pointing out what's happening in terms of climate change. There's one from the World Wildlife Fund. There's the Earth Hour film, and also we've got a little film about toilet twinning, which is the other thing that we're doing as part of our Earth Hour session, is trying to raise money from donations to twin the toilet here at St Peter's with one in a poorer country where they don't have toilets. And I was quite amazed when I read about this. There's some 3.5 billion people who don't have access to a safe toilet in this world. Seems quite incredible, doesn't it? And certainly don't have access to safe water. So this is a project where you twin your toilet with a toilet somewhere else, and they build a latrine and make sure there is safe water for families. And that has an enormous impact on health, as you can imagine. Apparently, 1,000 children under 5 die every day as a result of not having safe water, which is quite a terrible statistic, isn't it? So it costs £60, and you get a little picture of the toilet that your money has gone to build.
Do you know where it is yet?
Well, you can actually choose from a number of countries, so it's likely to be somewhere in Africa, but we can choose as a church where we decide we want to have our toilet built. So.
You can have a picture of it on a frame in the loo.
Yeah, they send you one, actually, so you can put it up in your toilet and say, this toilet is twinned with this one in Kenya or wherever it is. Yeah, so it's a really good idea. So
it's quite a big effort. Why have you decided that this is the year to do it?
Well, it's because it's part of our eco-church, our decision as a church to try and become an eco-church. So it's just part of that. So we thought that's why we'd start it. But I'm sure if it's successful, we'll carry on doing it, because it is a lot of fun, as well as, giving out a very important message, a serious message. So we just hope people will come, obviously not just people from our church, but people from Shaftesbury, and come in and enjoy it. It should be a really nice evening.
So you are scored on the things that you do to get that accreditation.
Yes.
Well, having an event, because of the awareness side of it, is that something that's going to factor into your judging?
Yes, it will. There's various different things like worship, and so we are having services now which are thinking about our earth and how we are there to be stewards of it. There is the buildings and the land, and then we look at our connection with the outside world, so it will help us to score some points on that, which will help us to get up to our bronze rating, which is the first level, and take it from there, really.
Do you need a ticket?
No, just come along. You don't have to pay. It's just donations. So you just donate what you want on the night. So it's entirely up to you. Anyone's very welcome. Also coming are people from Planet Shaftesbury to explain what they're doing, and hopefully some other environmental groups, like people who are doing Orchard Town, And I think some people who are involved in Swift boxes in church towers will be coming explaining what they're trying to do as well, so people can come and talk to them and see if they want to get involved more in those kind of environmental projects that are going on locally.
Earth Hour at St Peter's Church in Shaftesbury on the 28th of March, starting at 7:30 with drinks, nibbles, films and information, before the symbolic lights off and candlelit concert from 8:30. Entry will be free, with donations invited on